Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? Happy Monday. Thank you guys all for hanging out with me on your Monday morning. How are we feeling today? Let me get the background music going. There we go. Let me know real quick how the audio is. I've been having, I got a new setup on my desk recently, so I've been having a little bit of trouble with the audio. Sometimes get some white noise. Sometimes I just record while I'm muted, so let me know. Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys doing well. Seeing some new faces in here today. Love to see that. Feeling good post Pepe pump, dude. We all are. Let's pull up the Pepe chart. I can marvel at this while we get things going. I mean, that's phenomenal. It's like there's no other way to look at it. This has been the strongest coin off the lows. This has been the strongest coin this month. This has been the strongest coin since the let's make sure that's right and that's accurate. Since like the April 13th puke. Yeah, like nothing is competing with this. Not bonk, not whiff. Nothing's competing with Pepe off the lows. I mean, I know it got hammered, but it pretended like this didn't happen within a week, right? Pretty much within a week, we reclaimed our daily downtrend. There's still coins that are stuck underneath their daily downtrends. There's still coins that are in bearish market structure on the daily. There's coins that have lost their weekly trends, like INJ off the top of my head, one of the leaders of the bull market so far, trading below the weekly trends. There's not much you can say, man. I'm happy that my bets have been in Pepe for almost a year now. We're coming up on a year. Actually, I don't even know. I missed the first run up. Basically, I bought Pepe when it got listed on MEXC. Let me pull up the MEXC chart so we can say, wait. And now the background music's gone. Hold on. Okay, there we go. This guy. I missed a lot of this, but Pepe made more sense to me than any meme coin that I've ever come across in crypto. It made more sense to me than any dog coin, any cat coin, any other coin, because I'm like, dude, this is a meme that I use literally every single day. I use it in Discord. It's it's the emotes in that cover every group chat, every Telegram, every Discord. Streamers use this, Twitch uses this. So although I missed, like, my friend told me about Pepe when it was at like 1 million and 5 million and 10 million, and I missed all of it. I literally faded it until it got listed on MEXC and bought somewhere in here, probably on the 4-hour trend flip. We probably have charts on Twitter if we want to go back and see, but knowing myself, I probably bought when this 4-hour trend flipped. Yeah, and we've just been like compounding the journey ever since. Like it's been a fun road, but the one thing about being a Pepe holder is like you don't get these pumps without fear. You don't get these pumps without it's so over. You don't get these without a lot of FUD, man. There's always another meme coin coming in where people are like, this one's better. This is the new thing. This is what retail is going to love. But like sometimes, whether it's a meme coin or any other coin in the market, if you have a legitimate thesis, you should see it out. I understand there's some times where it's like you're underperforming and your thesis is not playing out. You can make adjustments, but as long as you've seen hints of it working, you owe it to yourself to continue to see it out. So that's where we stand. And yeah, let's see who's in chat, and then we'll get into Bitcoin and stuff like that. Yeah, man, a lot of new faces in here. Someone asked, is it time to short Bitcoin, or can we short Bitcoin now? We'll get into that in a minute, but just spoiler alert, I would not short this. 20% corrections have been par for the course the entire cycle. The weekly trends have done a phenomenal job holding price the entire cycle. The one time we lost it, as soon as we reclaimed, it was go time. Tag go time. So consolidating on the weekly trends above last cycle's weekly resistance, already selling off 20%. I would never personally short Bitcoin here. Never. But you do as you want to do, but I would not. maybe if you're talking about like intraday rotations, intra-week rotations, sure. If you want to take a short off Bitcoin saying, look, we've swept local highs, which I think we have. No, not yet. But maybe you have it like this. You say, look, we've swept local highs. We get back inside. We're failing to accept outside the daily, or excuse me, the 4-hourly 200. We're going to get rejected. We're going to clean up these lows. We're going to come back to, if that's your trade thesis and your invalidation is super tight, right up here at 64, and you're like, we're not getting above this. Sure. I mean, be my guest, short it. But that's not something I'm interested in. Why would I care about taking 2-hour shorts in a cyclical bull market? And just for, you know, posterity's sake or whatever you want to call it, I didn't short any of this either. Like there's been plenty of bearish times in the market where we're downtrending for weeks or even months, and I'm just not shorting because you know, I still think the high time frame's on my side, and I'd rather position long off the high time frame and wait it out and have patience versus trying to short and extract every single move, both to the upside and the downside. So that's where I stand on that. Let's short Bitcoin. I see a lot of these. Opening song was fire. Yeah, let me get the name of the song for you. It's forget. It's called The Last Dinosaur. I forget the name of the song, but I think that's the artist. I'll post it in chat in a few minutes. Audio's good. Sick. Pepe bros are in town. Love it. This is the intergalactic generational forever and ever top on Pepe, and you aren't selling. I love that, Jingo. Great. Yeah, Charlie, thanks for the spaghetti. By the way, if you like these templates, these are made by the one and only Bitcoin Charlie. I think Charlie's standard spaghetti, correct me if I'm wrong, Charlie, is still available through his Telegram. At least that's where I got it way back in the day. And if you want the categorized spaghetti, that breaks it down by sectors, both intra-week, intra-day, and then you could open them up to the coins actually in the sectors and narratives. This one's available only for Paragon members, so check that out. What's up, Charlie? Thanks for stopping by, man. But yeah, you know, if you guys don't know Jingo, this man loves to FUD rallies, dude, that he's not in. Jingo's the boy. He's been around. We've been friends now for like what feels like 2 years. I don't know how long it's been, but my man is resident sideliner. Good morning, guys. Okay, we're almost done with catching up with chat. If we don't make a higher high on Bitcoin this week, then would we be in a downtrending market? But we aren't making lower lows. Are we squeezing into the 60K? What happened? Okay, we'll get into it. Let's feels like 10 I've aged at least. Yeah, dude. Jingo, I mean, I've gotten gray hair like out the ass now since being in crypto, so I feel you there. But yeah, let's talk about Bitcoin. Pretty much caught up with chat. Okay, so the way I see Bitcoin, we're going to start off on the weekly. I already touched up on this in a very general sense, but this is how I see the weekly chart. We had very clear and beautiful range built last cycle. Everyone is aware of the significance of the 28-30K level. Everyone is aware of the like 60K level. If you look at it on the weekly, 58 becomes the level where this is the weekly high that we set, failed to accept outside of it, held it as resistance, sold off, right? The next time around, smashed through it, one attempt by bulls to hold this area support, SFP'd the highs, and you can see how even on low time frame, if I come to like a 3-day or a daily, let me scroll back, how this was the significant region, right? This is the region that we tried to hold several times. This is the region that we failed to hold above. This is where the daily broke down and everything. So 58K for me is a very significant level dating back to last cycle. And we're still trading above that level. Another thing you guys will notice is that last cycle, and I've talked about this a lot of times now, last cycle, we did not establish any sort of support on the weekly trends. We went so parabolic that we actually just used, I believe, the daily trends from bottom to top of the cycle, right? Every correction was pretty shallow. We were just holding the daily trends correction, daily trend correction, daily trend correction, one little deviation, get back inside, hold this support, daily trend, right? So when this was lost, there was basically no established meta of holding the weekly trends as support. The market has not established that as something that we are going to use, right? Versus this cycle and the 2017 cycle. Let me get a little bit bigger of a chart. And I'll bring it all back to current price action and everything. I just want to give a little bit of context. Right, look at how we traded the 2017 cycle, right? Look at the respect that we had for weekly trends, both to the upside, the downside, and everything. We did not do that in 2021, right? We're doing that this cycle. So this entire cycle, from the FTX bottom to the USDC DPEG, to our summer crab, similar to what we're having now, to our reclaim that we had in September and October, looks a little bit better on the weekly. Remember, this is weekly trends, so I want to pay attention to this on a weekly chart, right? The reclaim on the weekly here, and then the tap on the ETF sell the news, right? All establishing that the market is willing to trade these levels, use these levels, and acknowledge their existence, right? Where are we coming to now? What have you guys heard me talking about on CT and Discord and everything for months now? Pretty much since March, is the value of bidding daily 100 this cycle has been a pretty much free money cheat code. So I'm going to continue hanging my hat on this on the high time frame. I'm going to continue keeping it as simple as possible. My high time frame invalidations for we are in a bear market, or we're in this market, or in macro distribution, is going to be losing the daily 100, holding below this, flattening out weekly trends, and putting in a kind of distribution range like this, right? If we start losing respect for the weekly trends, we start reaccepting back inside last cycle's range, I'm going to be willing to acknowledge that, okay, this cycle is probably not going to go as high as we think. We might be top, we might put in another 80K anemic run, but we're really done marking up, right? We can't really accept outside of value. But for now, looks very healthy. This is something that I said back in March that, when we were trading around 70K or something like that, or maybe when we had our first sell-off, I can't remember exactly when I tweeted it. I was saying this reminds me a lot of April to June of last year, right? If you guys just take an eyeball test, it's more or less the same. We're having grindy lower highs and lower lows on the daily. We've lost the daily trend. We're using the weekly trend as support, right? Similar situation down here. Almost the exact same thing that happened last year, both sentiment-wise, both price action-wise, trend-wise, right? Let me draw three parallels to this price action from last year. Number one, the significance of 26K. If you were around and you were trading last year, you remember how many people were clamoring about 26K being the end all be all. Lose this level, it's lights out. We can't lose this level. Oh, look, we've ran these lows, we've deviated. That's our long signal to get super risk on and squeeze to the highs. Continuing to get chopped up and chopped up and chopped up and chopped up, eventually holding the weekly trends. And when we were bullish, we did not allow anyone an entry. We just squeezed above the daily downtrend and ran all the highs, right? Ran all the grindy, junky lower highs that we didn't take. We just basically did that in 1 week. So trend-wise, sentiment-wise, also, I should point out, when we were in this region at the top, a lot of people were missing a bunch of this rally. A lot of people were sidelined. A lot of people were not willing to acknowledge the bullishness of Bitcoin on high timeframes. A lot of people had not bought spot bags. They were still scarred from FTX. There was a lot of PTSD. We got to this level. A lot of people were looking at this and going, "There's nothing but air." I know you guys remember hearing this last year, but it was just like this. It's like, there's nothing but air. We're gonna reaccept inside last cycle's range. Look at all this inefficient price action. There's nothing but air. And people kept on trying to break out long this. And every kind of low was, we're going back to all-time high, or we're ripping, we're doing this. And every move down, the bears were saying, we're coming back to 20K and 15K and whatever, right? But all it did was just grind you down for 20% over 2 months. Where are we right now? We're just grinding down 20% over 2 months into high time frame levels, where bulls are looking for 100K next month and bears are looking for 40K imminently, and capitulation hasn't happened yet. It's the same repeated patterns in crypto, no matter how many cycles you trade. And the reason that I look at this, with my experience only being in like my first proper bull market, is I look at every single one of these as their own mini cycles of risk on, risk off, risk on, risk off. So to me, from a broad base spectrum, this just looks healthy. Now we can come to low time frames with that context put in. Now, on the daily chart, Bitcoin has had a very good relationship with the 4-hourly 100 and 4-hourly 200 EMA this cycle, right? This is basically telling you when altcoins are going to get destroyed is when we lose daily trends, or the H4 100, H4 200, right? Pretty much the same thing happened here. This wick, or this move right here, before Bitcoin even came down to 60K and 58K, this first wick right here is where altcoins got absolutely brutalized, and we're starting to dump like 40-50%, right? We bridged the gap, and now we're in a daily downtrend, right? We're putting in lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We have not established a higher high yet. A lot of people are looking at this first one right here after like 6 days of price action, holding the daily 100, holding that psychological 60K level. A lot of people are looking at this and speculating that this is going to be our higher low, and this ignites the squeeze, right? I say the same thing that I said over here on the timeline, that I said over here, and that I'm going to say over here. It's the same kind of situation. If we are going to accept outside these values, I will play 4-hourly trend continuation, but I do not want to be the one that is betting at resistance, right? You show me something I used to tweet all the time. You break, I defend, right? You break it out, I'll try defending the 4-hour. We'll go from there, right? If Bitcoin is truly strong, it's probably not going to give you a perfect retest, a perfect pullback. It's just going to consolidate and rip in one candle, and maybe put a little pullback and rip again, right? That's how Bitcoin's going to move. So bringing it all together, where are we right now? Are we bullish? Are we bearish? That's for you to decide, right? If you're trading intraday and intra-week, I would say to continue keeping it intraday and intra-week, and not have every single move on Bitcoin here be a bias that you need to establish for an extension, right? Not every move down is going to go to 40K and 53K. Not every move up is going to go to 70K, right? Continue playing within the means of the volatility that you're given. Take profits where they are, and don't just look for extension and continuation on every single play. But where we are right now, we're sitting at daily downtrend resistance. We're sitting at weekly uptrend support, right? And we're just sandwiched between these two levels as volatility is compressed. So for me, I'm not going to be speculating on Bitcoin trades, at least not right now. You know, maybe CPI comes in, maybe we get some volatility around that. Maybe we clean up some of these lows. We'll see what happens then. But I think, you know, going back to the regime that markets love to be in when we are in a risk off point, and we love to look at macro, and we love to look at FOMCs and CPIs, I would wait for that to come in, for some clarity, for something, for some price action develop around that, and then look to mean revert it. Say, for example, CPI comes in hot, right? Let's say it comes in and surprises, and we're trading in this region, and we get a big slam down. We clean up these lows. You start seeing absorption, right? You start looking at the order flow and you see absorption. You see a lot of long liquidations. You see new shorts opening up. You see, spot absorption, right? In this area, you can bet on reversal and mean reversion, right? But until that forms, right, we can't make a decision. We can't predict. But if and when that forms, I think that'll be a nice trade to take. So if I can summarize everything I just said on Bitcoin, it's very hard to predict where we're going to move from this very moment. If you're shorting, you need to have a tight invalidation. If you're longing, understand you're longing into resistance. I'm just comfortable waiting. That's where I stand. Good morning, Da Vinci. Are we back? I don't know if we're back yet, but me personally, I've been risk on for a while now, like since here. Publicly bought Solana, PEPE, Render, ONDO, all on these daily 100 tags, right? All on these capitulations. One big thing I always talk about on the timeline too is when you lose daily trends, you're going to get a weekly trend tag, right? Basically H4 200 to daily 100 gap fill. This is pretty much par for the course for me in my system. And I look to reposition on high time frame trends to give myself the best high time frame validation. So I bought a bunch of Solana spot. I bought a bunch of PEPE spot. I bought a bunch of Render spot, right? ONDO as well. It didn't give me the perfect fill, but I still bought this alongside everything. Prime I waited for and bought spot last week in the weekly demand plus weekly trend. This is one of the weaker ones. but I bought spot here at 1390. And I'm just chilling. And a lot of my bags have done really, really well. Not focused too much on Bitcoin. One of the things that I love, exploring in markets is the idea that risk will sell off faster, and strong beta is going to get bought up quicker than Bitcoin, right? And we're seeing that happen, right? The market leaders in majors is pretty much Solana, right? So you're seeing Solana get a much, much, much better bid than something like Ethereum. The market does not care too much about Ethereum. It's bleeding out still. It's making not lower lows, but it's accepting price lower, while Solana keeps getting bought up. Pepe being the meme coin leader, the market's showing you, right? It wants to buy the leading meme coin in big corrections. Render being the AI coin like leader, pretty much. I know FET maybe. Let's take a look at FET. I don't really look at FET. Harder for me to understand than So this is not that strong compared to Render. So markets once again, like the title of this stream, picking the winners, and it's up to you to pay attention, right? It's not picking coins like I think FTM's probably, like it's not picking FTM. Well, I guess you could say you could separate this from a coin like INJ. Let's pull this up as an example, right? It's a teachable moment. A coin like INJ that was one of the leaders of the markets dating back to last cycle or last year, losing its weekly trends, failing to put in extension with the rest of the market pretty much since Q4 of last year, pretty much underperforming the entire market in Q1, SFPing the highs, staying range bound, distributing, losing its weekly trends, and continuing to bleed out from here, right? This is a coin that the market is telling you is a loser and that you should probably not pay attention to, or not be risk on with, or maybe not even reaccumulate, right? The market's not giving you strength. Another one is a coin that I longed for a little bit, which was Aptos. I took a position on Aptos around $9. I played this run up. I sold when the daily trends broke, right? And on the way down, I speculated publicly and on the timeline as well that I want to rebuy the weekly. And I got stopped out very, very quickly where the market just did not agree with me. There's no bid here. There's no buyer of second order. There's no one else that wants to buy this, right? So another loser. But what are the winners, right? Pepe, Render, ONDO that's not selling off, right? The AR, which is a coin that I don't own, but where did it go? Right here, right? That's performing phenomenally well compared to the rest of the market, right? It's trading very well. It has relative strength against the market. So the market's giving you these opportunities to buy strong coins. I think even POPCAT, right? It got hammered right off the lows. I think I can find more price action on this. On MXC? Nope. Yeah, there you go, right? Got hammered off the lows, reclaimed its range and sent new all-time highs, right? So probably your cat coin, meme coin leader, right? And I think people right now that have cash and, positions that are probably underperforming, they have the opportunity now to be like, well, I never got a position in this coin and that coin. Well, the past month is giving you the opportunity to shift your capital around from losers to winners, right? It's blatantly telling you which coins it prefers over others. So market's talking, you should listen. Are you still taking scalps? I haven't in about a week. I am trading around certain positions, like Render. I am, I wouldn't call it a scalp because it's intraday. It's several hours. It's 8 hours, 12 hours in a trade. So it's not scalping. But I haven't in about, I don't think I have this month. I haven't scalped this month, but I did a lot in this range. I think I talked about it last stream. I was scalping a lot of Ethereum here, a lot of intraday trades in Ethereum in this section. Wait, yeah, this section, exactly. Almost lost myself there. Timeline is euphoric, celebrating a lower high. I think the timeline is euphoric, celebrating Pepe all-time high. At least my timeline is. My timeline is euphoric on 10, 20% moves on meme coins this morning. Whether they long the lows, whether they're in spots, I think they're excited about that. I don't know if they're excited about Bitcoin per se. At least that's my point of view. I don't know how many people are excited about Bitcoin, but I mean, I gave my Bitcoin overview. I think this is going to squeeze back up and piss a lot of people off eventually. I'm just more patient than other people. Coin back below 200, those 180 bids may get filled. Yeah. So let's take a look at coin. Been very patient on coin as well. This is pretty much my only holding. I have some stuff, like I have some Robinhood. I have some, Grayscale ETH. I have speculated on miners in the past, but I don't hold any miners right now. But basically the core position that I've taken in the stock market again and again this cycle is Coinbase, right? It's just my proxy. When I'm risk on in crypto, I get risk on in Coinbase, right? This is just what I'm trading in the retirement account. And it's given me several pumps. So took profits up here, not the Pico top obviously, but took profits in here and looking to reposition once again as we establish some kind of support, hopefully around $180. I think that's the yearly VWAP, if I can remember correctly. Yeah. Yearly VWAP has come up a little bit. Weekly demand, and I believe this is where the daily 100, daily 200 is too. This is inaccurate. For some reason, it's my indicator doesn't work so well for equities, so this is not actually where the daily 100, daily 200 is. But yeah, 180. I'd be looking for a bottom to form there. Waiting for weekly trends to be hit on Pendle. Well, the daily 100 has been hit, and we're bleeding through it. I'm looking for Pendle at weekly demand. Tweeted this one out that from a spot perspective, I'd like Pendle to form a bottom in this region. If it retraces this entire thing all the way down to like 220, that's not a coin that I care about anymore, right? I want to see some form of high time frame, high or low put in. I want to see high time frame trends respected, and get bull market continuation from there. Let me take you guys back to, last year where another coin did this, right? This is what you want to see coins do in these weak markets, is basically even if they retrace a lot of their pumps, right? You want to see higher lows set on high time frame. You want to see weekly trends held. You want to see weekly demand held. You don't want to see this bleed all the way out through weekly trends, all the way back to the origin of the last impulse, right? So if we come back to Pendle, more of the same here. You want to see these things be strong, the mid threes, 350, 330, something like that. Definitely do not want to buy. And I know a lot of people don't understand this concept of like, they're like, well, Doc, I want to buy at $2. Why wouldn't I want to buy as cheap as possible? Murder this market, send it to zero. Let me buy the ashes. Well, dude, if that happens, that's the market telling you there's no risk appetite to bid this coin. They're just going to put their money elsewhere. And you're going to be getting your phenomenal price. You'll be getting $1, but you'll be underperforming. You're not going to be putting in new all-time highs. You're not going to get a trending market. You have to work against downtrends. You have to flip trends. You have to build support. You have to put in an accumulation range. You have to build new narratives. It's going to take a lot to overcome something getting dumpstered like that. So just buying coins cheap is not worth it. You want to buy them when they're strong. You want to buy them in strong weekly uptrends, not just, hey, this coin is low, let me buy it. Charlie seem outlook to short the market. I don't know what Charlie's doing, but Charlie is an adept trader. Like he knows what he's doing. I'm probably, don't have the mental bandwidth to short and long a range bound market when my thesis is high time frame up. But there are traders that can manage those things. I'm not one of them. Been trading this shit for 10 years and gotta say you're very brain. Keep it up. Thanks, man. I'm in render since $1. Sad that Tau isn't balling like that. Yeah, Tau looks crap. I think it's losing its weekly trends. It's losing support. It's lost the last consolidation that sent it to all-time highs. It's lost weekly trends. It looks terrible. Right? You had your deviation underneath range lows. This is your opportunity to send it back into range to break the daily downtrend. This is a complete dud at this point. Like this hasn't done this in a very long time. So what you'd be looking for is continued bleed. Eventually it's going to set a support and you're hoping that you can get back above weekly trends, and this doesn't end up just being macro distribution, and maybe you put in a nominally higher high and end up low again, right? That's what I hate. When I see weekly trends break down, I lose a lot of confidence in coins. What do you think of the ONDO AIDS chop, dude? It's an anomaly. I hate it. As someone that's long ONDO, bullish ONDO, has a fat bag of ONDO from down here, added to ONDO, man, I don't love this, but I'm also not trading it. I don't know what to think about it. I don't know if it's going to break down. I don't know if it's going to break up. There's no value in speculating when price is just hugging one level. It's stuck at 80 cents. The place where I would look to long ONDO is probably down here at the daily 100. Maybe if you wick to clean up this low, but down here, this is probably where I'd add to my position or look to long, or probably acceptance outside of like 87, right? We start accepting outside of 87, we start holding 4-hour trends, right? We get a couple, 4-hour trend tags in this region. I'd look to play trend continuation, but I don't know, man. I'm just going to be like blatantly honest. I don't know what to say about this. This is one of the, I don't know if I've ever seen this before, where the market is weak and uncertain and some things are popping off and some things are bleeding to zero and this coin just going sideways. Like, this is the definition of sideways, where you're getting a little bit of volatility early on and it's just dying out. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know what's going to happen. Thoughts on Prime? I covered it briefly. I'm probably going to cut Prime. It's the same. So if you missed some of the stream, go back and see just recently 10 minutes ago when I was talking about PENDLE and CAS. Just apply those same thoughts to Prime here, right? You want to see the market agree with you in these circumstances. You want to see us hold weekly trends and weekly demand. I'm not going to be a happy camper if we're trading all the way back down to $11 or $12. I'll probably just happily cut the position. I'm in from 13.9. I scaled out a little bit of profits right here because I got a 50% bounce in like 5 days. And I'm looking to add that size back in as this starts, flattening out here. But if it just bleeds out, I'm probably just going to cut the position. I don't want to apply my conviction to coins that the market disagrees with me on. What are your thoughts on PEPE consolidation under all-time high for a bit, then price discovery? From here, I want to see if it'll hold 4-hour trends. First of all, just from a price perspective, we can go over this, right? This is your last markup. Internet's slow. This is your last markup, 4-hourly trend markup, multiple corrections, deep corrections in the 4-hour trend, held. Where was the 4-hour trend lost? Right in this region, right? Confluent with range highs, confluent with value area high of this consolidation. And this is your last up candle, right? This is your last up candle before trends broke down. So this is what I like to call the pointer breakdown. This is the last effort that bulls could put in, the last little fart push that they could put in before it broke down. So I was considering this to be a massive resistance level, right around like 9.6. The fact that we blew right through this all the way to 10.9 and SFP'd all-time highs was an opportunity for me to realize some profits. Like I said, I've been in PEPE since the lows. The way that I play PEPE is just continue to risk on and risk off my spot. I take profits on a little bit of spot every time we get gigantic pumps. I add that spot back on dumps. I did the same thing here. Was selling into this 70, 80, 90, right? Sold a lot when this 4-hour trend broke down. Added some down here at 58. I talked about this on the timeline. I tweeted this out exactly when I bought it. I bought a lot right here, right? So I've been selling into this pump. I sold a little bit here, actually a little bit lower. I sold a little bit around 80, and I sold some this morning right at the all-time high tag. So I'm just comfortable continuing to load up in weakness and sell into strength, and I'm going to continue doing this until we flip SHIB. But getting back to your specific question, from here, what do we do? From here, the number one thing you want to see as a bull is you cannot allow this full breakout to retrace. You want to see consolidation, right? You want to see consolidation as trends catch up, and then you want to see price and trends move together and push up again, right? And again, this is what you want to see. You want this regime to be established. If we come back and retrace this entire pump, it's going to look terrible. It's going to look absolutely terrible. That means no one's chasing the breakout. No one's buying spot. People are taking profits. There's no buyer of second order. There's no chaser. There's no risk appetite. There's just people saying, hey, we're back at range high. We're back at all-time high. I should probably take profits, like myself, right? I'm willing to acknowledge the continued strength as long as 4-hour trends continue holding. So we'll see what happens. We're going to allow at least a day of price action to play out. Obviously, I'll be watching low time frame as well. I'll be watching hourly and 15 minutes, stuff like that. But the bread and butter is going to be the 4-hour trend. So we're going to need much more time for this to play out. We'll see. What do you think about PUPS? End in a scam or have a narrative? Yet never take it, but looks interesting now. Can I pull up the PUPS chart on here? I don't think no, it's BSC. Hold up. I could probably copy and paste this. So my idea for PUPS was simply range low reclaim and I'll buy. Right here. Okay. Copy image, paste. Yep. So I tweeted this out when we were like in this region, somewhere in like 30, 35. And I was basically saying, I want to see like a range low deviation. I want to see support lost, reaccumulated, and then deviated back inside. In this regime, it gives me at least an invalidation for my thesis, right? It gives me a point of invalidation, meaning this to me would be accumulation, reacceptance back in the range. I can take a position and I can basically say, if we lose this value that was built here and we start trading below it, I'll cut the position and I'll basically develop a risk to reward based on that invalidation, and I'll take it from there. That's how I want to trade PUPS. The reason I want to position this one is because it's now retreated, I think, sub 100 mil. Someone in chat, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's retreated sub 100 mil market cap, which provides the opportunity for multiples, right? Provides another 3x, 4x, 5x, whether it gets to 10x again and 1 billion again, who knows? But I think it's a decent bet on the BRC and RUNE narrative, right? The way that I like playing coins is not being a coin picker, but rather allowing the market to pick, and then positioning myself to where I can understand and have an invalidation. So that's the way I would develop the RUNE's invalidation. I can't place any thoughts on like, will it win? Will it come back? Will it do this? I really have no idea, man. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah. Quality is not going well. Can anyone else confirm or deny that if the quality is crap? I'm looking at it right now on YouTube on my end, and it looks okay. I can see it on my side, and it looks fine. Hey, Doc, are you spotting $20 fib levels for render spot? I'm basically thinking I can front run $20 by like a little bit, right? So I don't even have any levels on here, but sometimes I use 1618, right? So let's pop that on. Yeah, so that's, right around $18, $19, $20. That's basically what I used last time on render as well when we're in price discovery. Let me see if I can pull up the other chart here. So yeah, this is pretty much what I did last time. I basically just took the high and the low. The 1618 was $14. When we got up, close to this region, I closed my position and I said, I'm going to reposition on the weekly trends if we're lucky enough to get that. We got lucky enough to get that. Basically just take the same idea here, right? There's no really rhyme or reason when we don't have comparables. Like something like Render doesn't have another AI coin ahead of it to give it like a comparable valuation, like something for PEPE, you could just be like, well, we're going to flip SHIB, right? That's a comparable valuation, right? SHIB is not a meme coin anymore. It's trying to do this, that, and the other thing. It's, we already have a Dogecoin. Why do we need a SHIB, et cetera, right? There's cases to be made. You just aim for those market cap targets. For something like Render, you don't really have a market cap target. So you really don't know. So when you trade in price discovery, either you trade it until trends break down, or you basically, aim for like a fib extension, right? And I don't really believe in fibs, or I don't really use fibs outside of like this. This is like the only time you're going to see me ever use a fib, just because I know other traders look at it, right? And it's one of those like self-fulfilling prophecy things. The more people look at charts in a certain way, the more likely the chart will trade that way. So yeah, $20, 18, 19, 20, right around there. ONDO is accumulating a lot. End of story is up. Yeah. I mean, that's my thesis, right? That's why I bought ONDO. Shout out PC Principal, who's a fantastic follow on the timeline. Rarely shares alpha, but when he does, you want to pay attention. So I don't remember. I think I was talking about Link or something, and I was in the same thread as him, and I saw him say something about, ONDO's coming out in like 5 days, or I don't know, 2 days or something like that. He tweeted something like that out, and I basically saw it at 5:30 in the morning, my time. I woke up, I saw ONDO's trading on Bybit, and I just market bought there. And the reason I did that is the thesis was, this is a BlackRock coin. This is RWA BlackRock coin, right? Super dumb, easy thesis to follow. And that was it. So yeah, I've lost ONDO right here. There we go. So yeah, I don't know how this is going to play out. I honestly wouldn't be surprised in any, like, nothing would surprise me, because it's so hard to pick. If we just keep ranging here, if we come all the way back down to weekly demand and weekly trends, if we start accepting outside this value, it's impossible to say. But yeah, the thesis is stupidly simple. Thoughts on Link? Looks trash. Remove it from your watch list. Don't trade Link anymore. Don't pay attention to it. Link had so many opportunities to be strong, and it has failed every single test. Levels haven't mattered. Trends haven't mattered. Narratives haven't mattered. Accumulation hasn't mattered. It's too heavy. The market doesn't care about it. Why should I? Right? That's how I see it. Even if it goes up from here, it doesn't matter to me. It's going to get outperformed by everything, just like I got outperformed by everything last time. And this is me just being blatantly honest, dude. I have a lot of Marine friends. I gave them a lot of leeway, and basically wanted to listen to the fundamentals behind Link, and wanted to believe, and position one time on Link spots. And when we lost the weekly trend a couple weeks ago, I was like, okay, that's the end of my Link spot journey. I don't care about this coin anymore. That's really honestly what I think about Link. Brutally honest. What do you think about RUNE? RUNE's interesting because RUNE is always a coin that seems to be strong at the start of risk on rallies. And I can't tell now. Here it is. And I can't tell now if the market is just trying to be wise and be like, maybe enough time is sold off. Let's position in RUNE, right? And start developing this strength, because RUNE is always strong at the start of Bitcoin rallies. RUNE has established this mode of being risk on very early on. So I don't know if people are just front running that, or that is an actual hint as to what is about to come. But it doesn't look bad, right? It kind of lost the weekly trend for a second, but I'm going to give that a benefit of doubt. Who cares? As long as we're reaccumulating and uptrending on the daily time frame, I think that's much more important, right? One of the few coins, like, you can go down your guys' list, one of the few coins that's actually making a higher high on the daily and reclaiming the daily trends, right? So the structure looks okay. I'm not gonna trade or buy or do anything with RUNE yet. As far as coins that I like, it's still weaker than some of the coins I like. So we'll see. Somewhere down the line, I think this is going to be very tradable again. But for now, I would just focus on like range bound trading. But the structuring is still healthy compared to a lot of other coins. Info? What's info? Is that a ticker? Yeah, I don't know what that is. You're gonna have to specify, Nathan. All hail the frog. Yes, sir, Mike. Chilling on quality. Okay, quality's great. Yeah, I saw that a little bit earlier when you guys all typed it. 4K stream, dude. I need a PC. I've actually been thinking about this. A lot of the games that I play with my friends are crossplay. Like, I don't game that much, but I started to again the last couple months. Obviously, we've been crazy busy the last 6 months, but like over the last month or two, I've been gaming a little bit again, and a lot of the games are on crossplay. And one of my friends just switched to PC, and I've been thinking about it. I was like, why don't I just go to PC? That way, I can have, you know, like a really nice setup where I can stream higher quality as well, right? I'll have a stronger, I don't know the technical terms, processor, I guess, or something. That'll allow me to stream like on Twitch and stuff too, like with better quality. And one of my friends was joking around. He's like, Doc, you should game and stream crypto at the same time. Like, just hang out, play like Destiny, PvP, play Crucible or something like that. And have alerts set and just trade live and stuff. I was like, that's not a horrible idea. Maybe we do that one day. A poo chart? Yeah, dude, it's just breaking out. I can do the same thing. I can do the same thing I did for PUPS on a poo. I mean, it's calm, right? It's Pepe beta. It's going to do as well as Pepe's doing. A lot of this price action is driven hand in hand with Pepe, to be honest. And it's breaking out at the highs, right? So Pepe's at range highs, Apu's at range highs. I mean, I don't know who's just hammering sells here, but I get it. You got, some people are probably up like 1,000x. So I understand the sell pressure. And ultimately, it's probably like a healthy thing to do for continuation. But whenever we break out of this region, I would be expecting at least a 50%, if not more, rally. Trading at 84 right now, getting to whatever this 12 region, 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. I would like at least a 50, 70% breakout. And there's another coin that I can trade based on market cap as well for targets, right? I was talking about earlier how some coins you just have no target, like Render. You have no upside target. Like, I don't know, top 10? Like, it doesn't make sense. But something like an Apu, you could be like, oh, well, it's still a sub 1 billion coin. We can aim for targets of, this, like maybe a Bybit listing, maybe this listing, maybe 1 billion, nice round number or something like that, or top 100 or top 150. So there's like different targets. So Apu being around 300 million right now, I believe, at the time of the stream. I would think that you could do a 2x from here before the market really has to decide if this is a coin that's worth getting to 1 billion or not. You're going to have to hard front run 1 bill. I think somewhere in the 500 to 600 to 700 million range, there'll be a big deliberation of people that are up just ungodly amounts of money. I didn't put too much money into this myself, but I've been in since 10 million market cap. Sold once, rebought, and when I rebought, I didn't put the same size in. So my size, I'm not actually up 30x off cost basis. I'm up a little bit less than that, but people are going to be up absurd numbers when we get to the 500, 600, 700 billion range, and you're going to need another cohort of participants willing to buy that price. So there'll probably be a very sticky point in that region. That's probably where I'm going to be closing out my Apu position, if not closer to 1 billion, maybe 1.5 billion. I don't know. We'll see. But I think this breakout should be juicy nonetheless. I think this breakout will be huge. Greetings, sir. Greetings from Oxford. Any idea who the fuck Roaring Kitty is on Twitter? Dude, Roaring Kitty is the guy who basically sparked the GME squeeze last cycle. Actually, I was in equity. I don't know how many people know this about me. I was trading equities before I came to crypto. And I participated in the GME squeeze as well. I kind of fumbled it, but that's another story. I remember hearing about him in like August, September, October of 2020. A lot of people on Wall Street Bets were talking about a potential GME squeeze. I remember reading his due diligence post on why GME should squeeze. I remember him talking about his positions and the calls that he bought, and everything like that. And I actually joined in. I think GME was like starting to pump from like $2 to like $4 to $5, $6. I was like, I need to get a piece of this. So yeah, anyways, long story short, this guy is an absolute legend. I think he turned his actual returns, I think he turned $50,000, of which a smaller portion was calls and a bigger portion was just shares. And he turned $50,000 into $50 million. And I can't remember how much he cashed out at the top, but he cashed out a good chunk, a very good chunk, around, I don't know, $250 or something on the GME price. He sold a good chunk of it. I can't remember how much he sold, but he took a good chunk out. And then I think he converted a lot of his gains back into equity, and so much so that he owns like a big part of the company, I think. I don't even know. But yeah, man, absolute legend. You know, like bigger than Michael Burry, in my opinion. Like, this dude is way bigger legend than Michael Burry. He got his own movie. Like, I forget what it's called, Dumb Money or something. It's on Netflix if you want to watch it. If a coin breaks a weekly trend, would you give it a chance to get? Not really, to be honest. I think crypto markets, especially altcoins, are just in liquidity and attention and narrative Olympics. And when coins lose these, I don't care. Like, do whatever you want. You know, talk to me when you reclaim, basically. Right? I don't care about them. Right? I have a bunch of coins on this list that are trading below that I still need to get rid of. But I'd rather focus just on strong coins that are holding them. Like, look at like an AKT, right? These are the coins you want to buy, even though they're down 70%. They have these 70% corrections, 53%, whatever. It's still massive, right? But into weekly trends, those are the ones you want to buy. What do you think about SPEC, brand new chart? Who talked about SPEC recently? Someone talked about this. Let me pull it up. Is it on Deck Screener? Where are we? Base? Let's see it over here. Oh, I know who talked about this. This is Avocado Toast. I saw him posting about SPEC, and then I saw Schmosby talking about SPEC, and they were talking about it like in here. CT got a hold of it over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday pump. It sent whatever, 2x, 3x, 2x, right? Obvious profit taking. I think this is your classic airdrop pump, right? Airdrop sell off. This really didn't have one, but an accumulation, a pump. The pump's going to sell off, and then from here probably reaccumulate, and then we'll figure out, because these things sometimes take time to play out, right? Sometimes they bleed out more. Sometimes they range more, but eventually you get a really nice pump where people just immediately make a free ton of money, and then they distribute that money, they break down trends, it enters a new reaccumulation, and then we'll go from there. So I don't really see anything worthwhile trading on SPEC. I don't know what this coin is. I don't know what narrative it is. I don't know if it's AI. I don't know if it's a meme coin. I have no idea. I just saw the ticker floated around CT over the weekend, and when you see a ticker like this floating around CT on a bunch of accounts that have been, proven track records, people want to copy trade them, you get these markups, and then you get profit taking. So nothing really too cute to focus on here, in my opinion. DEGEN, please. I think DEGEN looks like shit. I'll look at it though. If it looks like shit, I'm just gonna tell you it looks like shit. We don't have to look at the chart. But off the top of my head, I think it looks like shit. This is the base coin, right? So, okay, indicators. All right, so this coin is in a very strong daily downtrend. It is coming to support. Let me post this on the. Give me 1 second. This is a very janky way for me to stream and show tickers from Deck Screener, but it is what it is. So daily downtrend, right? Coming back into daily demand, right? you're trying to build a base here, right? So now whether or not, I can't draw on this, but whether or not this drops below and reclaims, or it just consolidates here and squeezes through the daily downtrend, me not giving a damn about this coin and thinking there's much better coins and plays in the market, would prefer to buy this after reclaiming daily downtrends. And if you want to just copy mine, it's daily 21 or 12, 21, 34, or the 4-hourly 100 and 4-hourly 200. It's the same idea, pretty much the same values to demonstrate daily trends. Yeah, Jingo. Yeah, definitely some chads in it. Like Shmosby's a killer. I think Avocado Toast is also a killer. I'm not too familiar with him, but I did follow him recently, and I think he's a killer. So, you know, two guys that are not technically like altcoin shillers, and they're just in it for like, you know, returns, but they have a decent head on their shoulders and not just looking for exit liquidity. When people like that are in on coins, it pays to, you know, it pays to follow through. Crypto and feet, disgusting. Check Ocean, Ondo. I already did Ondo, brother, so you got that. Ocean's, I already know off the top of my head. Ocean's looking like shit. Can do it quickly. Okay, well, holding weekly trends, but not getting the bid that other AI coins are getting. You would put this above a Tau and below Render, right? Below Tau, yeah. I think FET is also like, let me see FET real quick. So, right, Ocean's below FET. I don't even think Ocean's a coin worth trading, right? You have better AI coins than Ocean. FET trades better than Ocean. Render trades better than Ocean. Tau in the past traded better than Ocean. So that off the top of my head, I always remember like Ocean was strong once upon a time in January, February 2023, and it hasn't really mattered since then. I already did a poo, brother. Scroll back in the stream a little bit. AI coins, AGIX, Ocean, based AI. Definitely will not talk about based AI, which is PEPE coin, which is a bunch of VCs and insiders buying up supply to pump and dump on CT. Definitely don't want to talk about that coin. But AGIX and Ocean, you can do AGIX quickly since I'm just on the AI tickers. Same thing, right? Same idea, same structuring. FET, AGIX, Ocean, they're all basically the exact same chart. Big markup, daily trend lost, weekly trend fill, forming a consolidation, holding weekly trends, looks bullish on the weekly, but does not look as bullish as Render. So what's the point, right? If you're not outperforming at least Render, what's the point? This is where the market wants to bid. That's kind of the whole theory, the topic of the stream today is basically saying the markets are picking the winners. Stop trying to outsmart the market, right? Pay attention. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to what the market's saying. It's telling you what's going to win. It's telling you what it wants to buy. You don't have to apply any kind of knowledge or FA to it. FLOKI, dude. Okay. FLOKI. Same thing. I'm keeping it very high time frame for you guys. I know people want like hourly triggers and 4-hour triggers and hey, where do I long and where do I buy? But when you're in a upscaled market like this that's marked up 20x and has so much volatility, you guys are going to get wrecked trading low time frames right now. You'll be on the right side of the trade. You're going to say, I want a long and I think it's going to go to higher highs, but you're going to get chopped up in the meantime. So I think it's just, you owe it to yourself to keep it high time frame. It has held. It hasn't looked that strong. I think Bonk looked stronger than FLOKI. Yeah, Bonk looks stronger than, why do I have it? This. Yeah, deviated, basically held. I mean, this is devastatingly weak on the way down, but the fact that it reclaimed looks pretty strong. The fact that it also did not put in a higher high here, because I remember this run, Bonk and PEPE were the same strength. They both had this pullback. PEPE sent to higher highs. I guess Bonk sent a lower high, and that's kind of trash. Let's look at FLOKI. FLOKI's up more today. Let's look at the spaghetti. Yeah, Floki's up 8% today, whereas Bonk is 5%, whereas Whiff 5%, Shib 6, Doge 6. Pepe is just in a league of its own right now, but it's selling off a lot of this. Like I think a lot of us are realizing that we got a 2x, we got a spot 2x on size over the last month, and you're gonna lock some of that in. Yeah, dumb money. That's the movie, exactly. What do the red and blue candles represent? Delta. Relative volume. You can think of it like that. Relative strength or relative volume. Trade or CPOOL? SPEC looks like ENA. Yeah. Yeah, they're basically volume candles, right? They're high delta candles, relative volume candles. They're basically, in the terms that I like to explain it, it's just showing you relative strength versus prior candles, right? The velocity of the buying was much greater in these candles versus other candles. Red candles, the velocity of selling was much greater than other candles. So it gives you a little bit more context to what's happening behind price. This helps you with expansion, absorption techniques, a little bit of order flow techniques. So it's kind of like a shortcut way to trade order flow, right? If you combine delta with, this doesn't have open interest, but if you combine delta with open interest, right, you can get like a very discount version way of how to trade order flow just on TradingView without looking at actual order flow. Because you're basically just, the concepts of order flow are just understanding where participants are positioning, how are they positioning, where the weak points in the market are, passive buying versus aggressive buying versus passive selling versus absorption. Those are techniques that you see with like flow, and delta candles are just one of those. Check the PEPE whiff pair. Well, you're in luck, my friend. This is something that I actually check very often. This is something that I took a pair trade on last month. I opened a pair trade on this long PEPE short whiff. And actually my whiff entry is underwater, but the relative strength of that trade, I don't remember exactly where I opened a whiff. I think it was like right here at 295. So I'm a little bit underwater. But the pair trade's working out, right? Obviously, just blind long PEPE would have dominated, but the fact that whiff is barely down or barely up doesn't really matter. Let's talk about whiff in general, by the way. The fact that whiff is so range bound like this and is really struggling recapturing this point of breakdown, right? This is the area, this is the last up candle before the down move that broke structure, that broke trends, right? So this area is very significant, contextually speaking. Getting back above this with a spot bid and spot premiums is going to be very, very important. Premiums, I'm talking Bitcoin terms, but a spot bid is going to be very, very important. Otherwise, I'd be looking for the daily 100 to get tagged, clean up these equal lows, right? This is where I would buy spot whiff. I've been front run a few times. I'm a little frustrated because of these bounces, but I wouldn't buy whiff unless we get this daily 100 tag. PEPE short looks good. Have fun. People are always obsessed with shorting things that go up a lot. You have a legitimate case, sir. We have swept all-time highs. If you want to short this and make your invalidation this wick, yeah, sure. But, opening a short right here in the middle of this value is tough. Because, where are you planning to take profits? Are you, you're going to be in profit and then it comes up here? Like, how are you going to manage this position? Where's your RR on shorting PEPE? Unless you're thinking this is my invalidation and this is my target and I'm going to swing short this to basically all the way down in the weekly trends. It's a decent RR. But I would never short anything that's above the 4-hour, above the daily, and above the weekly. You want to short coins that have lost daily and lost 4-hour, because then you have the opportunity to fill this gap as far as the swing goes. If you're just scalping, yeah, do your thing. Scalping intraday, you're just fading this pump. Yeah, sure. Makes a lot of sense. Like I said, I took spot profits this morning right before the stream. So I'm adding to the sell pressure, but I'm not shorting. I'm just, paying myself for buying down here. Thoughts on AIOZ? I don't know what this coin is. I don't know what this coin does, but I have it on my watch list because it's very strong. Again, one of the few coins that is held the weekly trends. It's held market structure. It's reclaimed bullish market structure where you have higher highs and higher lows on the daily. It's reclaimed the daily trend. It looks really healthy. It's kind of junky to trade. I tried watching this because I'm like, this coin looks really strong. Can I get some decent trades on it? And there were this past week that I wasn't, taking, but it's a little illiquid, like on Bybit perps, or excuse me, not on Bybit. It's not even on perps, is it? Where did I see this coin? Is it on Bybit or is it on Woo? Neither. I must be thinking of a different coin. Yeah, I'm not thinking of this coin then. There's some other coin that I tried to trade on perps that was like too liquid for me to size into and look too junky. Okay, so I'm confusing two coins. Anyways, getting back to this one. Reclaiming daily trends. Looks really healthy, right? One of the rare good coins. Like if I go to AI here, I'd probably just be better off removing that from my watch list. If I go to alt, just remove this from a watch list. Ape, remove this. AR looks strong. Doge looks strong. Dusk, not great, but we'll give it a chance. Foxy looks okay. Range bound. FTM looks okay. I think actually one of the things with FTM is I may actually, and I haven't done this yet, I don't really have cash for this right now to put in a significant size position, but FTM keeps on coming back. Like the narrative just keeps coming back around. Like every time we're risk on, for some reason FTM gets a bid. So this one I'll pay attention to a little bit more next time, right? Super strong risk on rally when the market sent off the FTX lows. Super strong from October, right? So one to watch for, definitely. HNT, probably delete this one. This looks like trash. Cass, I don't know, man. This is starting to look like crap because you marked up, you distributed, the next markup basically just bled right back into prior value. So what was the point? Like what I'm trying to say here is we had an attempt by bulls to say, look, all we do is markup, consolidate, markup, consolidate, markup, consolidate, and that regime kind of died off here. Let me get a little bit more price history and demonstrate this better. Right? The regime on CAS has been markup, consolidate, markup, consolidate, markup. And every time we mark up, you set a new base, right? The lows are much higher. The lows are much higher. The lows are much higher. What have we done this time? This is the first point of weakness that's showing up here, is that CAS could not continue this momentum and range and establish new values at lows. It retreated all the way back. It's never done that before. So probably one that is going to underperform the next time. Like it did a phenomenal job outperforming majority of the market the past year. Is probably going to underperform the winners from here on out. Near looks solid. Yeah, I can just keep going down the list, but you guys get it. We did trade and CPOOL both look about the same to me on the weekly. I think CPOOL looks kind of weak. We all kind of bought this one. A lot of people in the clinic were long CPOOL. I think based on your recommendation, Jingo. I definitely didn't catch the meat of that move, but yeah, this doesn't look that good. So where I liked CPOOL a few weeks ago, and I wanted to see this area hold, was prior resistance, not fully retracing the pump. This is demand. Right, this is your weekly trends, and I wanted to see this region hold, and it just bled right through it. And now we're bleeding through the daily 200. That's not strong. That's not strong to me. To have this much consolidation, basically put in a Burj Khalifa and come right back down. This is just gonna do fuck all for a long time, right? Maybe it'll do something again, but it's not worth the opportunity cost of sitting in something below weekly trends. Do you do on-chain too? Very little, dude. Very, very, very little. I could probably count. Let me go to my deck screener. Actually, I've deleted a lot of stuff, but like I did RLB last year for like a 10x before the migration. Like I bought it when I was on Solana. I did Unibot for multiples, PEPE, Toshi, POPCAT. I don't even know, man. I've done a lot of on-chain ones, but like I said, I don't speculate. I allow my friends to pick the winners, and then I just kind of bet on those. Like Jingo's really good at doing on-chain stuff, I believe. He's much more active there than I am. I'm not very active on-chain. I kind of just wait for winners to get established and then bet on those. I did POPCAT a little bit earlier, man, but we can look at it real quick again. Yeah, so one thing that's super bullish about POPCAT is the fact that it's holding daily trends, right? I think it's going to lose this daily trend eventually, and it's going to turn into a range-bound coin, simply for the fact that, the same way I explained on CPOOL, when you have a big consolidation, you get a breakout and you bleed all the way back to kind of the origins of that, it starts to look very weak, right? It's basically saying that this was really juicy for people to sell into, and when we got the pullback, people do not go as risk on, right? They don't go, God damn, thank God I got this pullback, buy, and they don't get filled because there's not enough time to get filled, and price just keeps running back upwards. This is giving everyone the opportunity to buy back in, and maybe some people that bought are underwater. So it's just this shuffling of money that's going on here, and I wouldn't be surprised if this just ended up range bound for a little bit longer. But I mean, it was a phenomenal trade for a little bit. I caught one move on this one, and that was the reclaim back to range highs, right? I got like a 2x from that, and it was late. I was at like 21, back to like 40, like front running the all-time high. That's all I got on POPCAT, and took all these gains and put them in a poo. That was just a market cap play there, by the way. The reason that I rotated was, this was 400 million market cap. Apu was still 120 million. If I'm thinking that both of these are going to go to like 6, 7, 800 million, it makes more sense to bet on the lower market cap one. I think I talked about this in the Paragon stream. If I'm not mistaken, Goku, you're in Paragon. So I think I talked about this on the Paragon stream when I did that. DPIN and AI. Okay, so AIOZ is DPIN and AI. Good to know. Yeah, man. DPIN in general is not that interesting to me, but I like that a lot of DPIN like claims to be AI. By the way, I can talk about other coins. So ALPH is something that I've been talking about on stream for a long time. I've been talking about since down here last year. It marked up like crazy. I was crazy bullish on it to reaccumulate here once again, because this is the overlap of the position that I like, the weekly demand, weekly trend. Bought more in here, did not sell this bounce whatsoever, did not take any profits on this bounce. And then when I saw it starting to bleed into this region, I closed the entire thing. So I don't have any ALPH anymore. All of the accumulation that I did in here at 20 cents, at 40 cents when it got, bridge to ETH, when we got the ETH bridge, we bought more at 40 cents. Basically closes position out, because once again, if the coin doesn't want to show strength, I don't want to bet on the coin. So that's the position I'm in right now. The reason I keep on repeating these concepts is because that's kind of the nature of the stream today. That's the lesson that I want to kind of drive home to anyone coming that wants to like get my thoughts on the market. Yeah, let's take a look at Bitcoin now. Enough time has passed. That's not Bitcoin. Yep. So once again, capped by the daily downtrend. Let's take a look at the last squeeze that I'm basically modeling my framework after. Right? I talked about this at the start of the stream. Big 26K psychological level, loses level and it's lights out. A lot of people trading it this way. Oh my God, we got a deviation, send it back up to the highs. They keep on round tripping, keep on getting canned, keep on getting their stops run. Finally get a squeeze, lets no one in. Shallow consolidations, right? Just a chop fest. When we finally get the squeeze, it does not let you in, right? It just basically compresses at resistance, big compression on the daily downtrend, pops back up, gives you one entry, and then launches. I think that this squeeze is very likely to occur on Bitcoin in the coming weeks. Very likely. I'd put it at like a 65% probability of occurring in the next few weeks. And if this needs to chop around a little bit longer, so be it. You guys can see the compression forming here between the trends. If you're familiar with EMA compression trades, it's basically relying on the high time frame trends to form high time frame support and squeeze you through the low time frame trends, right? The bigger one is going to squeeze you through the smaller one, right? So I don't know how this is going to play out. I'm struggling to get an edge trading this chop right now, which I've largely avoided. I traded a lot of this higher volatility, easier places to position, a lot more room. This, the tighter and tighter it gets, the more and more I lose my edge. The less trends matter. You guys can still see the respect that we had for 4-hour trends here. The less and less trends matter in this region, the less and less I want to trade it. So what I'm looking for is eventually, whether it comes down, right, and we reclaim again, whether we put in another lower low and it reclaims again, I'm looking for eventually a pop through this daily trend and then to look for 4-hour trend tag, position here, make my invalidation the loss, and look for a squeeze. I think this is coming, and I think it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. Which, by the way, can I do a little bit of fun, lighthearted clout claiming? All right. How'd I do, friends? Too large. No, don't do that to me. All right, the quality. Sorry about that. I smacked my mic. Sorry about that noise. The quality's gonna suck now because I have to compress it for this. But let's see. How'd I do? This is something Ansem asked me. Ansem asked me this back in March. I said that we were probably close to a bottom, but we're going to screw people anyways. Because at this point, we were 17% down. And I was saying we'll probably drop another 6% and take these lows and then round trip people, right? And that's pretty much kind of what we're getting, right? We ran back to the highs. This bleed destroyed everyone again. We got a decent reaction. We full round trip people. We finally got the daily 100 tag. That's basically what I was looking for, is like getting risk on when the weekly trends catch up. When this low was in, the weekly trend was trading all the way down at like 49K or 50K or something like that. And I was thinking that we just need enough time to chop for these weekly trends to catch up, and then we get the squeeze. Now, whether this squeeze goes to all-time highs, goes to range highs, or whatever, I think this kind of move is going to happen. It's going to happen fast. It's going to force you to chase. People are not going to want to chase because they got burned for a month straight. Maybe they don't even have cash to chase anymore. And they'll probably get caught up here for a little bit longer. So we'll see what happens, but compare this to what we actually got. What are we thinking, boys? How'd I do? So, I mean, I'm pretty happy. If I can speak on my own performance, I'm pretty happy with the fact that I was risking off up here. I also tweeted out, like on stuff like Pepe, which I was up massive on, that I could see memes ranging for 3 months. And I tweeted that at the start of March. So I can definitely see Pepe rejecting this range high and staying range bound for another month, another 2 months, another 3 months. I can definitely see that picture of continuing to range, but the fact that it's one of the strongest off the lows, the market's going to remember this. And I think when it's time to mark up, it's going to mark up like crazy. Like it's going to have an expansion and a half. You know, the longer something consolidates, the bigger it's going to break out. Take, for example, anything in the market that consolidated forever, right? Big consolidations lead to big breakouts. So I'm not too concerned if this consolidates here for another month or two. Is Jaded? No, I don't think so. Paragon is Magus, Charlie, myself, and Sting also contributes. Sting is a legend in the space who's been a top trader of markets for like a decade now. Magus always gives him a lot of credit as being his mentor and teaching him a lot of what he knows. And Magus has taught a lot of people including myself, in the industry. A lot of traders that you guys know and aware of have come to Magus for education along their journey. So he's someone who I would consider a mentor, and someone that I still learn from to this day. Psychic almost. Dang, so you don't think we go down to the low 50s? I don't. The reason I don't, I've been talking about this a lot too. The reason I don't think we come down to here is it's too consensus, meaning every single person in the market can mark this out. Think about it this way. If your mom or dad got into charts, how long would it take them before they could recognize this being as quote unquote support or demand or a region that they want to bid? You know what a lot of people are doing, and I tweeted this out too. Can I cloud claim one more time? Can I do this one more time? I promise this is the last time. I promise. Okay. I got a screenshot. So I basically tweeted out and I was like, 53K or 63, or what did I say? 60K is consensus support. What everyone thinks is going to happen. This is what everyone thinks is going to happen. Right? They think that 60K is going to get lost. They're going to bid 53K because 53K is the most obvious level on the chart. They're going to look for this. They're going to fill these bids. They're going to get filled. And then boom, we're going to go. Everyone's going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya into the sunset. And everyone's going to make money together. And what's much more likely is something like this to happen. Right? Just because of that consensus level, because everyone's got bids there. Everyone wants to buy there at 53K. And what's much more likely is something like this. Right? Where you get a sweep, you continue battering bulls, you round off, you get momentum loss, these bids stay unfilled, and then you get the squeeze. Right? I think this kind of situation is much more likely. This is much more par for the course for stuff that Bitcoin does versus giving people the bids that they want. And I'll tell you what, like, if we do trade at 53K, I think we're going to slam right through it. I don't think there's a situation where we're going to tag 53K and that'll be it. I could see a situation where we just wick into this. Sure. Right. You need a vent. You need FUD. You need something bad to occur for that to happen. Otherwise, we'll probably just slam through this. Right. Consensus levels in crypto have two modes. Either they get front run or they get blown right through and no one cares about them. That's the way that I see it. Right. That's the way that I see it, at least on Bitcoin. Consensus levels on Bitcoin, coins that have tons of perp volume, tons of perp trading get blown right through. And I can show you an example today on Pepe, right? This is kind of more or less the same situation of this being a consensus level, like this being our like resistance level here on the daily, right? And it just gets blown through. And I talked about earlier when I was talking about Pepe, the point of breakdown, the supply block right here, right? This is probably a region where people opened up some shorts and we just slammed right through it. So that's the way that I see consensus levels. I think if we got to 53K, we probably slam right through it. Good morning, Timothy. So yeah, that's why I think 53K continues to get front run, and that's the way that I see it. And it's very, very healthy that volatility is dying off, because the more volatility dies off, the less opportunities there are for bears to short these pumps, right? Right now, they're getting great opportunities. Huge pumps into a downtrend. They get a phenomenal short opportunity. Huge pump, they get a phenomenal short opportunity. You know, weekend pump or whatever that everyone's chasing, they get another short opportunity. The less and less this, the more and more volatility dies off, the less opportunities they have to shorts. And I think what they're going to end up doing is something like this. Like, let's say this happens, right? When we run this high, what do you think people are going to do? They're going to short, but they're probably not going to understand the context that we've broken the downtrend. We put in lower high and lower high and lower high, and this is the first higher high. Right. So I think bulls would be looking to long this one, whatever consolidation forms here, and the shorts get squeezed. That's the way I see this playing out. Obviously just plans, but just, hanging my hat on some of the experience of trading Bitcoin over the years and kind of the patterns that I see playing out. I agree with the consensus thesis. But what about a squeeze from here? I see a lot of CT accounts waiting for another lower low. That could also be consensus. So I just look at sentiment as like a very rare time where you could like fade crowds. You can't use it all the time. You can't just say, oh, CT is bearish, I'm going to be bullish. CT is bullish, I'm going to be bearish, right? You can't do it all the time. You have to be very select when you kind of pick these points. And they're more of at extremes than they are midpoints, right? So I couldn't tell you if we make a lower low from here. I couldn't tell you if you squeeze from here. I think there's a possibility for this to occur, but I'm not ready for that yet. I gave that the opportunity here. When we're in this regime, I gave this much more time to breathe before securing gains on my longs. Those longs were Render and Solana, and I gave this a lot of room to breathe before being like, okay, this doesn't look like it's working out. Right here, yeah, there's a possibility again, but again, I'm gonna have to see more price action develop. Let's see if when the 4-hour trend catches up, if we can tag the 4-hour and start squeezing above the daily downtrend and continue holding this, then I can get a better invalidation for a long thesis for continuation and a squeeze from here. Where we are right now, tough for me to say if this is going to reject again. We do have CPI coming up, a situation that I could see, right? You know, maybe we just keep ranging until Wednesday. Maybe we get a big spike down, a Dalai Lama back into value. We start squeezing from there. Let's see what happens. Another 48 hours from now, let's see what happens. Much time. We have an hour and a half until the 4-hour close. Let's see how this plays out. Setting an alert here to see how rookie mistake. Set an alert here to see what kind of price action we get. If this is going to be a full reversion or if we're going to maintain new value here. Because this would be very interesting. If we're able to build value here, if we're able to hold low time frame trends, may get continuation. You just don't want to see expansions and big effort pushes retrace. Good short. I've already given a lot of thoughts as far as shorts go on Pepe. Someone asked me about this earlier. If you want to short it, go ahead. I wouldn't. If you got an entry up here, you have a great invalidation. You have a great RR on your trade. If you're trading it, let's say on the 4-hour, where is your take profit? Where is your invalidation? Where's your take profit? What does that RR look like? Where are you looking to mean revert to? Those are the kind of things you need to acknowledge, right? So if you're trading something like this and you're saying, I just want to fade it back into here, that's a 1.3R trade. I don't think that's a great trade. If you're looking and you're saying, I'm going to fade all of this. I'm going to fade the 4-hour trend. I'm going to fade the daily trend. I'm going to fade the weekly trend. I'm going to fade the breakout. And I think this is going to come all the way to here. And this is your trade. It's a 4-hour trade. Is that, again, a fantastic swing? I don't know. Maybe. Is that likely to occur? Again, I wouldn't hang my hat on that. I think you'd have to deal with so much chop that you'd probably get fudded out of your position before you even got down here. I don't think you'd be able to hold this for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it would take for this to occur. So would I short this? No, I'd be happy as a bull taking profits into this and then re-adding risk when I see what I like. If I see what I like, I'd re-add risk and play continuation. I think bulls are in strength here, but if you just want to take range high shorts, say we ran all-time high, this is my invalidation, you would probably be looking for something like this to occur. Sorry. Like a push up here, something like that, right? You'd be looking to short something like this. Prime breaking my heart. Yeah, me too, dude. It's very weak. Very, very weak. I don't want to see this set a lower low. I need the market to show me some type of resilience to bid this into a higher low. Even if it, you know, crabs around, I just want to see some kind of bid come in before this. If we just immediately bleed to lower lows here, I'm cutting this position. I'm not holding this. Where do you plan to long? Again, I don't really want to give signals, but I can tell you the concept. The concept is to watch for price action here. I talked about this again earlier in the stream, so I'm just kind of repeating myself here. By the way, if you've missed some of the stream and you want to, you don't want to scroll back, wait till tomorrow. My boy Wusong will have timestamps on the stream, and you can kind of just flip through certain sections. Everything will be timestamped. So I just want to see what kind of price action develops in here. If this can consolidate, 4-hour trend can catch up, I could bet on continuation with an easy invalidation. So that's what I'm waiting to see. Jito, we'll do a couple more coins, guys. We'll do a couple more coins. Any more questions you want to ask me, feel free. Jito is a monster that I have faded too many times. Absolute monster. It's one of the coins that's providing a lot of volatility, a lot of clean price action as far as sweeps and respect for breakers, a lot of respect for trends. Not breakers, excuse me, demand. Yeah, it looks great, but it looks like, I mean, I hate these moves. This looks inherently bearish to me, where you press up against resistance, you get a breakout, the breakout gets canned, and we drop back in a range, we lose trends, we lose market structure. I don't like this. So I'd be more bear biased on this at the current time being. I would be bullish if we could start developing trends again and start accepting outside of this, right? That's where I think continuation would occur. But as far as the way we're at right now, what's the context? The context is you set a low, you set a high, price is more or less range bound in this right now. You got a really nice trade back up to range highs. You SFP'd the highs. That's where it is right now, right? So unless there's something driving price behind Jito that's making it very strong, versus just it's strong because it's strong. I don't know. There were a lot of opportunities. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I missed a lot of great opportunities to long Jito. A lot of people that I know, really great traders, are crushing Jito right now, but I have not. If a coin breaks weekly trend, would you give it a chance? I already answered this question, Ted. You asked me this earlier, and I asked you this question. I said, basically, I don't care about it. If it loses weekly trends, I don't care about it. Let it do what it wants to do. If it reclaims, shows some strength, breaks market structure to the upside, I'll get back in. But by that time, I'm already in better coins, so I probably wouldn't even care about it. Like, I'm not going to care about it because there's so much opportunity cost there waiting for that coin to do that specific thing versus just buying coins that are way, way stronger, right? So I'm going to speculate here that you're asking this question based on a bag that you currently have that is lost weekly trends, that you're probably sitting around, or lost the 100, 200, and you're looking at it and you go, oh, but it's at this other support. Should I sell it and rotate? Very tough decision to make if you're super late to that, right? Let's say an INJ, right? Let's use this as an example, because this I think is the best example for this. Let's say you're an INJ and you never sold and it lost weekly trends, and you didn't sell this bounce and you're sitting in this and it's bleeding and you want to rotate capital. it's a strong possibility you're selling at the bottom. It's a strong possibility this just crabs around and, you know, way later in the year starts forming bullish trends again and rips again. Again, that's on you. I would have cut this a long time ago. Like, if I was too stubborn to recognize that this is super bearish, where you consolidate forever, you have this wick, it closes back inside consolidation, Bitcoin is already looking weak, this is underperformed, a lot of top signals firing off, and you never take profits, and this nukes all the way through, and you don't sell the balance, and you're in this position, like, you've made too many mistakes in a row already, and you're sitting in a bad position, and you don't really have good choices to make from here. Because again, you are kind of probably selling closer to the bottom than anything else, but you know, there's better opportunities here. The one way I would look at it if I'm sitting in a dud is there an opportunity for me to, let's say, you know, you just want like a 50% pump, right? You're looking at 50% pump. Can you look at other coins in the market that can offer you that in a smoother fashion? Can it get from point A to point B quicker? Can it get there sooner? Does it have more narrative behind it? Does it have more strength behind it? Like, pull up like something like Near, and you look at this and you go, well, can this pump 50% quicker? And I would say the answer is probably yes. The way that this structure looks compared to something like INJ, I think has a better chance of moving 50% to the upside sooner than INJ would. So you can move capital around based on those kind of decisions. H-bar, trash, dude. I don't even know to pull up the chart. It had a fake news. It pumped. It gave people a lot of exit liquidity. It fully retraced that entire pump. H-bar is one of the coins I look at in the market. It's like a scam coin. Complete scam. Not something that I would ever buy. All right, last one here, Sam. Super. I think that's the coin you're asking about. I don't know if it's Superverse, but we'll do this one. Someone asked about this. Yeah, same kind of situation here. Holding daily trends. Excuse me, weekly trends. Not too bad. Not too bad. Easy invalidation, right? You can bring this down a little bit. Easy invalidation as far as an SR goes, as far as weekly trends go. If you want to position in this one, not a bad idea for an RR, right? For decent RR. Wow, I used the short tool. My brain's going now. That's not bad. All right, boys. With that, we will call the stream there. I appreciate you guys all hanging out with me. If you want some more of my thoughts on the market, more day-to-day stuff, feel free to check out Paragon. The link for that will be in the description below if it's not there, and if I didn't set it there ahead of time, it'll be in the bio of my Twitter profile. So you guys probably all follow me on Twitter, so check that out. That's it. Take care. And if you missed most of the stream, check back tomorrow or the day after, and I'll have timestamps on the video. All right, boys.